In a quiet little town by the river, there lived a young woman named Elara who had inherited her grandmother's small craft shop. The shop smelled of lavender and wood, and sunlight always spilled through the front window onto shelves filled with colorful threads, rolls of fabric, and wooden embroidery hoops. Among these treasures was an old, half-finished cross-stitch hidden in a dusty box. The cloth was slightly yellowed with age, but the patterned delicate flowers surrounding a cottage still shone in faded reds, blues, and greens. Elara remembered it from her childhood. Her grandmother had worked on it every evening, but never finished it. One rainy afternoon, while the shop was quiet, Elara set the old cross-stitch on her work table. She ran her fingers over the tiny, precise stitches and felt an urge to complete it. She found the original pattern in her grandmother's handwriting, its corners curled with time, and gathered threads in matching colors. Some shades no longer existed in the shop, so she had to blend threads to recreate them. Each evening, after closing the shop, she lit a small lamp, made herself a cup of chamomile tea, and began stitching. The needle's rhythm was slow but steady, weaving thread through the fabric in neat X-shaped patterns. With every stitch, she imagined her grandmother sitting beside her, humming softly, guiding her hands. As days turned into weeks, the cross-stitch began to grow. The cottage's roof appeared first, its warm brown stitches forming against the pale sky. Then the garden bloomed with roses and daisies, their colors bright against the beige cloth. Sometimes customers would peek in and ask about her work, and Elara would smile, telling them it was a family piece. They always seemed to understand its importance. One day, as she was working on the final corner of the garden, Elara found a small folded note tucked inside the old pattern sheet. The paper was fragile, and the ink had faded, but she could still read the words. To whoever finished this, know that every stitch holds love. May this piece always bring warmth to its home. Tears welled in Elara's eyes. She realized that her grandmother had meant for this work to be finished by someone who would truly cherish it. The last stitches were made on a golden evening as the sun dipped behind the hills. Elara held up the completed piece, and it seemed to glow in the fading light. She framed it carefully and hung it in the shop's front window. Passers-by would stop to admire it, and many would step inside to share stories of their own family heirlooms. The cross-stitch became more than just fabric, and thread it became a bridge between people, a reminder that love can be stitched into the very fabric of life. Years later, when Elara's own niece inherited the shop, she found the framed cross-stitch hanging in the same spot, its color still bright. And on quiet evenings, with the same warm lamp and the same gentle rhythm of needle through cloth, she began her own piece, adding her story to the long thread of family memories.